everybody? Welcome back to the What's Blessed podcast, and welcome back to the Blessed Express, where the train just keeps on moving. My name is Jordan, and to my, I can't see you, so are you to my left or to my right?
You're always on the left. You're on the far left over there. I'm on the far right. And as y'all can see, we don't have a middleman, Aven. And there's a reason for that, and that is because we're actually recording this intro after the podcast, which I know sounds weird to a lot of y'all. The reason why is because we recorded the podcast a few days ago. It included a pretty long segment that was really great, but we ended up losing some footage. It was pretty much unsalvageable, so we decided it'd be better just to release a podcast as is without that segment. It was a cool segment though, and y'all are definitely going to see it at a point in the future. It's a cool little series we're going to start doing before every podcast starts, and you're going to really love it, I swear. It was so much fun to do. It'll be even more fun to do when we redo the first one and do many more in the future. But this podcast, y'all are going to really enjoy it. We talk about the direct coming up, but that's about it. Jordan, you got anything to say?
No, not really. Yeah, it was a shame that the first segment got cut, but it's okay because we'll get to redo it again. Outcomes will change, and I really do think you all will like it, and I think it's just better this way. Better to deliver a higher quality product than just force some garbage out there, regardless of how many people are watching it.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of like the mantra of this channel. I think Josh would agree. We don't chase success; we chase excellence because excellence breeds success. And I think that's where we're at with it. So we hope you enjoy the podcast. And yeah.
Stay blessed. When you all watch this, assuming you watch it the day it's uploaded, will be Sunday. And the following Monday, the day after, we're getting a Pokemon Presents. It is going to be telling us about the future of Pokemon, at least for 2023. Telling us about possible, or I should say at this point, probable DLC. Possible games coming to the Switch, whether it's old games, new games, remakes. Oh, I'm just saying what the people are saying. I'm not saying what we're saying. I'm saying what the people are saying. What we're probably going to be getting. But that's what we're going to be talking. We're talking about what we think, like our prediction, what we think is going to show up, our wish list, what we want to show up, and just how we feel about Pokemon in 2023. What we'll even talk about, like what we think they should change going forward, maybe per se. But Aven, you personally, I know you are just now started your Gen 9 adventure recently. You actually only just started your Gen 8 adventure recently. So you're much more used to playing like the older games. You do a lot of Nuzlockes and stuff. But go on, you can talk, yeah.
Yeah. Gen 8, I already dropped it, dude.
Oh, wow.
I'll go back to it. I'll finish it. You have my word. I'll finish it. But I was just more intrigued by Scarlet Violet than Sword Shield.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah,
but I do like. But now for all the people who are like, then why is I even here? Because I still know all the Pokemon. I still played it. I still know all the Gen 9 mons. I still know all the Gen 8 mons. I played it. It's okay. I just didn't play the story.
Yeah.
I played the competitive. It's okay. Calm down. Aven still knows what he's talking about.
We'll get through this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just make the claim me and you are the best competitive battlers out there right now. We're unknown, but we're the best.
I didn't say that, but all right.
No, it's okay. No, you said it without saying it.
Oh, well.
Go ahead, embrace it.
I will say, obviously, Jordan is learning
If you're the best, I have a championship ring over you. So I guess I got to be the best,
Oh goodness!
I can't wait for us to do like a new Pokemon League on the channel and like do like the WWE promos for every time, like for the matchups and stuff like that. It's gonna be legendary. That's gonna be absolute gas. But yeah, no. So So Aven's not wrong. I played Pokemon against both of them, and they're both like insanely good. Like I've never claimed to be good at competitive Pokemon, but I have been playing Pokemon for pretty much my entire life, so I know Pokemon pretty well in and out. And I got completely swamped. We did like a league play like a couple of years ago, and I think each of us got like 4 teams we drafted. I think I won a combined like.
What are you talking about? A couple of years ago.
Well, it felt like a long time ago. It felt like a long time ago for me anyway. But it was I think I won like maybe 5 total games out of like the 18 plus that you were able to play through or whatever. I got swamped every time. A couple clutch games I pulled out that I remember.
A lot more than that.
I remember how many games there were. There was a lot. I didn't win very many.
Brother, four by 10 weeks. You played 40 games.
Oh, and I won like 5. Yeah. Well, I won more than 5, didn't I? I won one team.
It's
I think I won like.
It's okay.
The point is, I'm not very good at competitive Pokemon, but they are definitely very, very good at competitive Pokemon. But we're not talking about. Well, I guess technically talking about competitive Pokemon. We're talking about Pokemon in general. The first thing I want to address for the Pokemon Presents is what we are for sure getting. We are for sure getting DLC for Scarlet and Violet, just because like. There's no way there's not. Like in the past, when it comes to Pokemon games, they've done like for Gens 1, 2, 3, and 4, there were 2 main games and a third game that was like enhanced version. Starting with Gen 5, we got 2 games.
It's already. I mean, it's not even like a question. It's definitely a thing.
Oh yeah,
They had the Paradox Suicune, and they had the Paradox.
Which is epic,
Horizon,
by the way. I can't wait to see that in action.
So. That's definitely gonna be something
for sure. Yeah,
the lines tomorrow.
But yeah, I was basically saying that like the way Pokemon's have evolved, it's to the point now where we will be getting DLC for this game and probably all future games unless a new format comes along that's like better or gives them more money than what we're used to. But yeah, with the fact that we got DLC last gen, we're getting DLC this gen. With the fact that they literally tease things in the game that you can like see. That's not in the game, that it's hinting at future stuff, which is not a thing they normally do. Well, I guess, not really. Like, I don't remember Sword and Shield doing anything like that. I think the DLC for Sword and Shield wasn't really connected. It was connected, but there wasn't any hints in the game that they were even making it. But yeah, they were for sure getting DLC, though. But let's talk about, though, what do y'all think is happening? Aven obviously has not played it, but I think like I said, he knows Pokemon, and we've, I think, talked enough about it together outside of this little box we're in right now to have some knowledge of what they could be doing. So what do y'all think we're going to be seeing for this DLC once it's revealed tomorrow, or Monday?
Okay, Monday, these just purely conjecture, you know. Pokemon has a tendency to disappoint quite a bit, and they have a tendency to deliver 1% out of the year delivers big time. This is not that. This is not the one. This ain't it. It ain't him. I'm telling you right now, it ain't him. So I'm thinking it's gonna start off. They're gonna get into their mobile stuff. So I think we're gonna see information about Pokemon Cafe, information about Pokemon Sleep, because I know that was something that was talked about. Maybe iterations for what they're doing for Pokemon Home. Maybe finally allowing Gen 8 Sword Shield and Legends of Arceus to come over to Home to go into Scarlet Violet. And then, of course, DLC announcements I think will also happen. I think there's going to be a Pokemon Unite update where they're going to implement a new character. I also believe that the game outside of Scarlet Violet that will be discussed, like the big game, right, the side game, I think it's going to be a new Let's Go game. Now, obviously, I know, Josh, you had strong feelings about it. You said it's going to be a Let's Go to Johto. I mean, the title just makes too much sense, and I agree. But I think a Let's Go game is guaranteed, and I think if it's not a Let's Go game, this is going to be a reach, could be a stretch, but I think it's going to be another Pokken tournament game.
That is crazy. Everything I had written down, you just said.
Well, including the disappointing part. So I would like to.
Not that. I had the Let's Go. Let's Go Johto. I said a side game of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Pokken. I think it's just going to be for sure some type
Pokken
of side
would be
game,
great.
And I'm not talking about like a Unite. I'm not talking about like a Unite. I mean like a new, like a big side game of some kind. But yeah.
And then also DLC. I think DLC comes in 2 waves, and I do foresee a travel back in time being a part of that. Or travel in or back in time, or just some sort of time travel. I feel like
it's going to introduce at least like 8 new Paradox forms.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You're either gonna go forward or backward, and you're gonna kind of. It might not be like a whole. It's not gonna be a whole region or anything. It might be like a fucking cave and 3 routes and like 2 towns. But there's gonna be some. Like, you're just gonna see a bunch of Scream Tails running around at like level 15.
Oh, 15.
And then you're gonna see, I feel like there's going to be, like they did in Sword and Shield, there's going to be the one lower level DLC, then there's going to be a higher level DLC. I wouldn't be surprised if there's even a third one. Because, why not? Like, they're allowed to do whatever they want.
Somebody watched the TikTok video I made. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it is. And then obviously the wish list. I think everyone's wish list is probably going to be the same. I mean, at this point, we all know what the wish list is. Remake of Black and White. That probably isn't going to happen.
That's not coming to Gen 10.
I won't say that for certain. But before we go into wish list stuff, I do want to give even though I gave a little TikTok with my predictions and stuff. The first thing I want to do is actually go to something Jordan said earlier. He said he's expecting this to be like one of the boring presents that we get throughout the year. I think we usually get two. We usually one at the beginning of the year and one in the middle of the year. Last year we got one in February for Pokemon Day, which is the one we're getting this year. Like we're in a few days, and then we got one in August, so we're probably gonna get one close to that date as well. I do want to say though, I was curious when Jordan just said that he thought it was gonna be boring. I looked up exactly what we got in the Pokemon Day presents from last year. So like almost the same exact day. It was the 27th, so it's the 28th this year because it's the last day of February. Last year, we literally got the reveal of Scarlet and Violet. Is what we got last year as the big thing. Obviously, we already know we're currently in Gen 9, so we're not gonna get a brand new mainline game announcement like that anyway, since we are still in the cycle of Scarlet and Violet. But just to throw out there what we got at this same exact time last year, we literally got the game reveal for Gen 9. We got DLC for Arceus. We got Shaman as a gift, mystery gift in Diamond and Pearl. We got an Alola update for Pokemon Go. And we got updates for the mobile games, like Jordan said. However, it was also 13 minutes long last year for Pokemon Day. This year is between 20 to 25 minutes. So that is a lot of time and a lot of possible content to be revealed. So I think what we're getting, my prediction in the TikTok video I made, I said we're going to get, like Aven said actually, I think we're getting 3 waves of DLC. They're going to get one that comes out like maybe in the summer, one that comes out in Christmas, and one comes out next year, like next spring, next summer. Or if they could spread it out further than that, we could get one at the end of this year, middle of next year, and the end of next year. I think that makes more sense to spread it out a little bit more. But I do think we're getting 3 DLC waves. In the TikTok video I mentioned, I think we're going to get the expanded Area 0. I think we're going to be able to go to the little corner of the map that you can't access right now if in Sword and Shield. And I talked to Jordan about this. I think he liked my theory. I think we're going to be able to travel either back in time in Scarlet or forward in time in Violet. We get to rescue the professor, because that's a big point in Scarlet and Violet. Your rescue is the professor is, he was trapped in time or whatever like that. And we're going to get more Paradox Pokemon through that. So I think, and maybe one of them is the Suicune thing we saw in the actual game. I think that's the main thing we're getting. I think we're also going to be getting, Let's Go to Johto. And in the TikTok, I said we're going to get, another, Eevee Pikachu thing where there's, 2 mascots. I actually, after thinking about it, I don't think we're getting that. I think we're getting 1 game. I think we're just going to only do 1 game for Let's Go to Johto. There's not going to be 2 versions. It's going to be just 1 version, I think. Because I think that makes a lot of sense. Because they only did one with Arceus, and it made just as much money as they would if they had 2 separate versions. So it actually cost them more money to make 2 versions rather than just make the one and sell it like 1. So I think we're going to get that.
The only mascots that I could see for that game are, Togepi and Pichu.
Yeah, exactly. I had the same thoughts.
If they were going to do outside of starters. But I could definitely see them just doing Let's Go Johto, and you actually pick the Johto starters.
100%. I think the same thing. I think you'll also be able to find the starters later on, because the whole point of the Let's Go game is so you can catch them all like you can in Pokemon Go. So I do think we're going to be able to get all of the starters at some point in the one single game. Or they could make you trade, I guess. You never know. And then I think the last thing we're getting is a spin-off. Now, I will say, and like I said, once again, referring to the TikTok I made, I thought we were going to be getting a remake of, or I said I wanted a remake of Rangers, because we haven't had Rangers in a very long time, and they just recently did a Mystery Dungeon game, so it didn't make sense for me to think they'd do another Mystery Dungeon game so soon. But Chunsoft, or maybe it's not, I can't remember the name, I think it's Chunsoft's name of the company. Whoever made the original Mystery Dungeon game is rumored to be making a game that's being presented this week. So people are assuming it's Mystery Dungeon. I think they could very well just easily remake Rangers on that team. They could do the old Coliseum games. They could do pretty much anything they wanted. Looking back though at the, like I said, I was looking back at the Pokemon Day from last year. And you know what? What if they did another Arceus update? Like Arceus has been out for a while, and I think they could do more stuff. They could add more Pokemon, stuff like that. Add a little more, because I don't think we're gonna get another Arceus game until Gen 10. Kind of like what you were mentioning. We're not gonna get Black and White till Gen 10, which I actually do agree with. But I think we can another Arceus update, and then for people who play Pokemon Go,
I don't think you're getting another Arceus game, brother.
oh, we're for sure getting another, as well as that
I don't
sold,
know.
and as many generations as they could do it, and we're for sure getting another Arceus game. I think we're gonna get another Arceus game actually, like a Johto
Well, I think
Arceus
the
game at some point
Arceus
in the future.
it was Arceus game because it was based in ancient Sinnoh, the gen
Yeah.
that Arceus came out in. I don't see.
Well, don't forget, it wasn't called
another
Arceus.
game.
It was called Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, like, they could continue the Pokemon Legends and use different legendaries. Because, like, think about
Who
Gen...
the fuck are they gonna pick that's not in Gen 4? That's like, it's notable. Like, could you imagine like Pokemon Legends Kyurem? It just has a different feel to it than Arceus.
Well, my thing,
Arceus,
what I was
whatever you
thinking
Well,
is...
I mean, well, I was just gonna say the Arceus game was highly successful.
Oh, yeah.
So there's really no reason for them not to make another one.
But
You know,
from
like-
a story perspective, how, like, what do you get? I guess you could pick, like like you all were saying, you could pick another region and make it an ancient region, but it's not going to be a game
Pokemon
around
Legends. I
Arceus.
mean,
it's
like
not-
Pokemon Legends, Jirachi, Pokemon Legends, Mewtwo, Pokemon Legends.
That,
yeah, I mean,
no,
it does
no,
get a little
Well,
weird
who's-
for Gen
well,
5,
who's
though.
to
Arceus
say
was
they
actually
have
a
to use-
centerpiece of that game, though.
He was, yeah, because he's the god of
What the fuck
Pokemon,
is
so he sent
Jirachi
you...
what the fuck is Jirachi gonna be the centerpiece of?
Well, so
You know what I'm saying?
my
Like,
theory...
like, what the...
My theory is if they do another Legends game, I think the next Legends game they do will actually be a combination of Kanto and Johto. It'll be like, because they're literally connected on the same continent, so it could be like, you know, what was it like back then before, like, there maybe like the mountain wasn't there that split like Kanto and Johto, and it was just one massive, like, you know, landscape or something like that. So you have like all of the Gen 1 Legend, which typically there is only like 3, or technically 4 with Mew, because Mewtwo wouldn't have been a prehistoric Pokemon. You have a lot of really cool, like, ancient Pokemon, like the Kabutops and stuff, that you could see what they looked like back then. The Johto legendaries are, you know, we have the 3 beasts, Ho-Oh, Lugia, and Celebi, which is literally the time travel Pokemon. I think it makes too much sense not to do another Legends game with Kanto and Johto, because you can do one region.
Oh.
There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. And who's to say they won't? Who's to say we won't see a Pokemon that we've actually never seen before because it went extinct, but it was a legendary? Like, who's to say that? They literally made up a new Weather Tree of
I can see it.
Pokemon.
Look, they make the company, you know what I mean? The company makes the fucking game.
Yeah.
So they can do whatever they want.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
I just think from the lore the lore that we've been given, Arceus made sense for that style of
It
game.
did. 100% it did.
Sinnoh was the perfect game for that, because the whole idea of Sinnoh is about time.
Yes.
All the box arts are about time. It's all about that. It's all about creation. It's all about everything. The only other game that I could see is going into the past for sure is Kalos, because Kalos
That's true.
has the whole backstory of Kalos is about the Pokemon War.
Yeah.
But I don't know how rated R WWE's. I mean, not the WWE. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how rated R Pokemon is about to get. Like, I just don't see them actually having a war in one of their games, like where you actually are like see it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what Legends is about. Legends is about two conflicting sides that are opposing one another, and I mean, they don't, like, you know, have like a cutscene of war,
Yeah.
but it's a territory. It's a
But
territorial.
in Kalos, if you all remember, AZ,
Yep.
the dude, like,
little flower.
he actually like. Dude actually like unleashed a WMD and like
Talking about the
wiped
dude,
out a
you
bunch
talking
of
about the
Pokemon.
dude with the floette?
Yeah, the
Yes,
special
Eternal-
Flowette,
Eternal
yeah.
Floette. Yeah, like it was like an actual war. Like Pokemon died, people died. Like they actually talked about it, but it wasn't like in detail. So I can see Kalos going back in time, but I just don't see Pokemon actually. It would just be like a PG war, I guess, but that just seems lame to me.
Well, also with Kalos, like what
Maybe
they
it's because I'm a grown man.
Well, hey, let's reel it back in a little bit. We kind of went off track and went on this whole I guess a mouse chase on Legends here. Let's go ahead and reel it back in.
Because Legends is part of the
get
franchise,
focused
so it
on
kind of makes
Pokemon
sense.
Presents.
Yeah, you're right. Let's talk about Pokemon Presents. One last thing I will say, though, is with Kalos, it makes a lot of sense because Kalos is connected to, like, if you look at the regions, if it's based off Spain and based off of, France or whatever, they're connected on the map, so they could do some stuff with Scarlet Violet, too, and if they did that. But yeah, so bringing it back to Pokemon Presents, what we're going to be getting, possibly this week. The last thing I wanted to say, my last prediction before we go to what we want to see, like a wish list. Pokemon Go introduced Alolan Pokemon in the Pokemon Presents from this time last year. So this year, I think we're going to get to see Galarian Pokemon because they're not in the game yet. It makes a lot of sense. Although I think some of the Galarian Pokemon, but it's not the full list or something like that. So I think we're going to get like a Galarian update in Pokemon Go. Unless there already is one. I don't play Pokemon Go that much. Maybe I'm wrong. So who knows?
But you know what, though? Here's the thing, too. Like, I'm also not going to be totally surprised that they're just going to spend, 25 minutes. They're going to spend the first 8 minutes talking about the mobile games. Here's an update for Pokemon Cafe. Here's an update for Pokemon Sleep. Here's an update.
We still haven't got
Unite.
Pokemon Sleep.
Pokemon Go. Yeah, they're gonna definitely discuss that, right? And then here. Oh, by the way, here's Gens 1 through 3 will be available on the eShop.
We didn't even mention that. I think that's for sure happening.
They'll run a whole trailer for that. They'll run a whole trailer for that, and then they'll run a trailer for the DLC, and then maybe they'll run a trailer or just an announcement. Hey, you're never mind. They'll run a trailer or like an announcement for whatever, remaster or new entry into the side game series that they're gonna do, unless it's a Let's Go game, which I think what we could see. But I'm also not gonna be surprised, nor will I be disappointed if we get none of that and we just get a DLC and the eShop stuff, because I think those are all but confirmed at this point. But the other stuff, I mean, it's gonna be stuff that no one in this room cares about. Let's be honest.
I disagree. I think there'll be a lot of hype stuff that a lot of people will care about. I think that we'll obviously talk about the mobile stuff, but I think this is like I said, it's what's weird is in the English thing when they were talking about it is they said 20 minutes, but in the Japanese little ad when they were mentioning they're about to present, it's 25 minutes for them. So I'm not sure why there's a time discrepancy. I don't know if that means anything or not. But this is longer than most typical Pokemon Present, so I think we're for certain getting many things. But yeah, we didn't even really talk about that. I think we just got Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games.
I think they're gonna get. I think that's why. That's why it's gonna be so fucking long.
Yeah.
It's because you're gonna see Red, Blue, Yellow played on the Switch. You're gonna see.
Their little trailer they do. Yeah.
Emerald. They're gonna do one where it's like going through time. You're gonna go through Gens 1 through 3, and you can play them all on the Switch. But that's not all. And you can play. And then it's gonna be all the GBA spin-off games. It's gonna be like, you know what I mean.
I don't think they'll focus on the GBA spin-off games because in the Pokemon in the actual Nintendo Direct, they actually showed the future Game Boy Color games. One of them is the Pokemon trading card game. So I think they're only gonna if they reveal we're getting Pokemon games for the NSO. I think they're only gonna focus on the main game. I don't think they're gonna focus on the side games. I think that'll be a more Nintendo thing than a Pokemon thing. Especially because Pokemon Company doesn't technically make those games; they just license them. It's made by other companies.
So here's the real question, though.
Yeah.
Here's the real question, though. Whenever they announce Gens 1 through 3, I mean, there's no better time than now to start a project for Gens 1 through 3 if we're gonna do it, because all eyes will be on it now. Is there a project that we can expect from our team in the future, or are we just gonna totally ignore it?
Well, so, if they're doing 1 through 3 and it's available on the Switch, that's obviously cool, for people who want to do it, but, if we're being honest, if we want to do a project for Gen 1 through 3, we could just emulate it and play it. So it's not brand new for most people. It's honestly just brand new for people who don't use emulators. Because you won't be able to do speed up, you won't be able to do hacks and stuff.
Those are some weird new features. I don't see.
That could be interesting if they decide to do that, yeah.
It's gonna be Gen 3, but we're gonna allow this new thing, or you can play with updated rules. So where it's not like a physical special split and stuff like that. But I don't see that being the case. They're not gonna do that. It's Pokemon.
Yeah, I do think though.
Do you see? Do you see they're gonna? Do you think they're gonna allow Gens 1, 2, and 3 to be compatible with Pokemon Home?
Yeah. Yes, because when they did
And then
the
all those Pokemon can go right into
yeah,
Scarlet
well,
Violet.
the reason I'm saying yes is because when they released
I don't
when
think
they when they resold or re-released Gens 1 and 2 on the 3DS, you could put them into Pokemon Bank and you could put those in Pokemon Home. So there's no reason why they wouldn't allow those to be in Pokemon Home. Especially because right now, because the 3DS eShop is closing, that's the whole reason I think they want to do this, is because in a few days from now, you won't be able to buy Pokemon Bank anymore, or you won't be able to buy Pokemon Crystal in the eShop anymore. So that you'll be cut off from getting those gens. I think that's why we're for, because if you think about it, if you only own a Switch, like the 3DS eShop, you can't buy games in like a few days, digitally anyway. So in a few days, if you don't buy cartridge games, you'll only be able to play the Switch Pokemon games like digitally, buying them in the future. So right now you can play Gen 1 because of Let's Go, you can play Gen 4 because of BDSP, and you can play Gen 8 and 9 because of Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet. So I think that's the main reason we're going to get a Let's Go 2 Johto game, because you'll be able to play the Johto Pokemon on the Switch. I think that's why we're also going to be getting Gen 3 for sure on the GBA. I think that's going to be the main thing they talk about is Generation 3 on GBA, on the NSO, because right now you can't, once the eShop closes, you digitally cannot get those Pokemon anymore. Or even if you can get them, you can't transfer them anymore because you won't be able to get Pokemon Bank anymore. So I think, then you can get Generation 3 Pokemon into it. So we'll have 5 generations of Pokemon you can get on the Switch now. So I think for certain it'll be available on Pokemon Home.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking if you could alleviate how much work they got to do for the DLC, right? Because if you think about Gen 8, Gen 8's whole DLC thing was just there was one story-driven DLC, and then there was one just basically, I mean, from what I've gathered, it was all just you doing raids to capture legends, and then of course you go do the Calyrex thing, and then that's it. So it's
they had the Reggies.
That was really cool. The Reggie Drago and Reggie Lecky was really cool. I like that.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah,
And then they had the Galarian Birds in that same.
The Galarian Birds, and people are not even.
Was just basically
like a Kubfu, boy. We got Kubfu in the first wave.
All it was just legend chasing, though. That's really essentially is what it was. It was a way to.
They gave you a way to get every legendary. Exactly. Yeah. Which brings me to another thing that we haven't even talked about, but it's been they haven't given a date when it's happening, but they've said it's happening for months now. Pokemon Home implicate into whatever the word is in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We still aren't able to take Pokemon from Pokemon Home into Scarlet and Violet. We still can't play with any Hisuian Pokemon in an actual battle outside of Arceus. So I think that's one thing that's going to be announced.
Yeah,
we're going to be able to.
That's what I think. One of the updates. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an update where you can.
I think is going to be that. I even was looking at a page earlier, a few days ago, where the Hisuian Pokemon officially have Dex entries.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
because the Pokemon Home just got updated, so it makes sense that's going to be the next update, which they might drop it the same day. They do that a lot with some Pokemon Nintendo stuff. They will announce something, and that same day you'll be able to download it. So I think we're for sure getting a Pokemon Home update and Scarlet and Violet update, which comes with a bunch of bug fixes and stuff too, on there. And you never know.
I can get my boy Hisuian Arcanine.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Literally, once again, going back to the Pokemon Presents from last year when they did the Arceus, DLC, you could download that same day. So, I mean, I don't think it'll happen, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. We get a DLC that adds content to Scarlet and Violet that we can download that same day. Because that literally happened last year with Arceus. So that's not out of the realm of possibility either.
That'd be hype.
It would be hype. It'd be super hype.
I'm playing it right now. So.
It'd be awesome. And one last thing.
If they announce DLC and allow you to buy it that same day, that'd be cool. Because then I could see how 3 waves could be a real thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tomorrow or Monday, then the spring, then the holiday season. I can see that.
Yeah.
But if not, then my predict for the first DLC drop would be probably July.
I also think it'll be if they decide to do the waves really close to one another, it'll be summer, winter, and next spring. If they want to spread it out, it'll be winter, summer, and the next winter again. And my dog's going off because my wife's home. But the last thing I was going to say also, I think, is if we get Gens 1, 2, and 3 on the eShop, I think they're gonna do the same thing they did whenever we got Crystal. When they released Crystal on the eShop on the 3DS, we actually had available to us the Celebi event that was previously unavailable unless you had a specific ticket from a specific event, like obviously decades ago. I think they'll do the same thing where you're gonna get the ticket in in Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, where you can get to the Deoxys event, where you can get the whatever. There's a couple other mythicals in Gen 3. I can't think of it right now because the dog's barking in my head. But I think we're gonna get Gen 3 along with like the mystery gifts and stuff that we couldn't get before. Babe,
Yeah.
I'll undo the podcast. What's up?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm home.
Talk about what we want, though, boys.
What I want? Oh,
What?
jeez. What I want is for
Here,
a
I'll
full
call back in a minute.
Pokedex, so we can have a full range. We can have an
Love you.
all-out war for the competitive scene. That's what I want. What I want is an announcement for remakes of Black and White. That way we can. But I know that's not gonna happen, right? This is all wishful thinking. But that's what I want, you know. But
That ain't happening, brother. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Yeah, it's not happening. That's that's gonna be end of
Yeah,
Gen
of
9 into
course it's not
Gen
gonna
10.
happen.
Yeah, because we got BDSP after Sword and Shield. Before
Think
that,
about
when did
it.
we get Ruby and Sapphire? That was Gen 7.
Think about it. Think about it. Okay. Gen 8, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Right? Gen 6, Oras.
Yep.
Gen 4, Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
yeah.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
take
Yeah.
a gen off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're probably not getting Gen 5. And also, I honestly am kind of wary after Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Like,
Yeah,
part
well-
of me's like, just let me maintain my memories of Black White. I don't want you to butcher it.
Well, what's the reason why the reason why BDSP was a pretty much a failure is because they made a 1-to-1 remake,
Fucking
not
suck.
a platinum of Diamond and Pearl, which were like, if you look at them, not good games.
And
Like,
you had a game that looked like Sword Shield, and then you made this chibi version.
I didn't mind the style of it. I
fucking
didn't mind the style at
Brilliant
all.
Diamond.
That didn't
And
bother
shit,
me.
but there was levels to it. Sword Shield was like, oh wow, this looks like a new game. Why
Yeah.
did you not hold Diamond Pearl to the same standard? They did it
Well,
with
'cause they had
Oras.
a-
They
they had
did
a
it with
different-
Oras though. Oras
They had a
is
different company
literally
make it.
XY. Like
The-
Oras was made on the same engine as XY. It looks the
'Cause they-
same. It was a remake. That shit was literally a remaster. That's what it looked like. It looked like a Switch remaster.
Well, that's what they
It
said we
was,
were getting.
well,
They said
they had
we
a
were getting.
different company make it.
Yeah.
They had a different company make the game, and I think that game was actually rushed. Like that game.
It did
That
definitely
game was
felt a little bit
I mean,
rushed.
You can
Yeah.
tell it was rushed.
I'm sorry. Like I
Well-
don't know unless they're gonna make the game look like a Switch game. I don't want them to remake Black White.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think after the backlash they got, I think the consensus for most Pokemon fans is Gen 5 is probably the best in terms of, nostalgia. I think when you get into
It's
Oh, Gen
I
5's so
agree with
good.
that.
Black and White's my
So,
one of my favorite games in
Gen
the
5
series. Yeah.
Gen 5, the remakes, I mean, they got to do them right, and I have faith they will, because, I mean, we have no reason not to think that they wouldn't, right? I mean, like, yeah, they had the BDSP hiccup, but,
I text you like 5 times during the podcast.
those games suck anyway. Moving on to
Everything right?
the much better games. Like, we're
still
here.
not that's still not an excuse though. Even if you don't like Diamond Pearl, why would you make Oras the same
Well, I'm just-
fucking game as XY? Like it's
Hey, man.
Megas.
Hey,
It's
man,
the same style.
All I'm going to say is those games solidified and completely I am justified now in my stance that generation sucks.
We'll have that video another day.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Completely,
We'll have that video.
Listen,
another day.
completely solidified it.
when they announced the Gen 4 remakes, we got exactly what they said we were getting. We're getting a 1-to-1 remake of Diamond and Pearl, which are not good games. Platinum is the reason Gen 4 is a decent gen, is because of all the updates made to Platinum. They made it's just so outdated. I don't know. We can go into detail another time about it. Like I said, but yeah, I don't like BDSP because we got a 1-to-1 remake of Diamond and Pearl, which I don't think are great games.
And can we talk about the disgusting
Disgusting.
designs that are Origin Dialga and Origin Palkia?
So the reason they look
Those
like
things
that,
look fucking gross.
the reason they look like that is because
they're supposed to look like Arceus.
well, no, if you they're supposed to look like Arceus, but specifically if you take the origin form Dialga, origin form Palkia, and origin formed Giratina, you put them together, like put them into like you combine them into one thing. That's literally exactly what Arceus looks like besides the color palette.
They look so fucking gross.
They aren't great. They definitely aren't.
I don't want anyone to tell me, how do you have a monster like Dialga, and then turn him into that sack of shit?
Oh wow, jeez Louise. You know, that's a good point though.
I mean,
if you think about it, like
it is literally Arceus.
Are you looking at it?
No, I'm not looking.
It's literally Arceus.
It is.
Oh, he
Arceus.
is. He's looking at it.
He's looking at it. Yeah, I can see. I was gonna say one other thing I want to. It kind of is a little bit off topic, but like I think we're also like when we get another Legends game, and it's gonna be based off of the Johto Kanto region, which I think it'll definitely be. Think about it like this: like every legendary Pokemon up to this point, at least almost every legendary Pokemon we have, that was like the original 4 or 5 generations. We got like a new version of. Like we got Mewtwo X, Mewtwo Y. We got, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, their Mega Forms in ORAS. We got, in Gen 4, we got the ugly ass, like you said, the hideous monsters. And then technically, with Zekrom and Reshiram, we even got, like, the ice form with Black 2, White 2. So, like, the only 2 legendary Pokemon from the original, like, couple gens that we don't have, like, a new version of is Ho-Oh and Lugia, which makes more sense why if we get, like, another Legends game, they're gonna do something sick with them where they, whether it's, like, a new form or something like that. But we're definitely, like, they're the only Legends from the original Legends we don't have, like, a new form of. So I think we're gonna cook some up with that.
Let's go Ho-Oh, let's go Lugia.
Well, I don't know if it'll be in the Let's Go games.
Ho-Oh or Lugia.
That fucking Ho-Oh flying behind you.
No. But like they just call it that. Like you still start with Totodile, Chikorita, and Cyndaquil. But like they just call it Let's Go Ho-Oh and Let's Go Lugia.
I still think it's gonna be one single game.
You know, Let's Go to Johto. I mean, the one game theory makes sense too.
Yeah.
I mean,
or timeout. You already got Heart Gold and Soul Silver. What if they did Let's Go Johto and it played like Crystal?
I wouldn't mind that at all.
It was basically the Crystal remake.
Well, that's what Yellow was. That's what Eevee and Pikachu was. Let's Go Pikachu was a remake not of like Red or Green or Blue. It was a remake of Yellow split into 2 games.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna get the Unknowns, Grant Suicune. Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest. I am of the mind that I'm not gonna be excited for anything that comes out.
You never are, dude. You're always a late bloomer. You always come around, dude. You just now started to play Pokemon Scarlet.
I think the DLC is gonna be the only thing that I'm gonna.
The Jimmies or Jammies.
I think you're gonna. If we see Let's Go, I'm just gonna laugh at it because I don't care. I'm sorry.
I'm buying it.
You can crucify me.
I'm also buying it for sure.
I don't.
It'll
care.
be in the house.
I'm also a shill.
It'll be in the house.
I'm a Pokemon shill.
But I'm not gonna be all excited over Johto. Like, I'm sorry. I don't get excited for Let's Go. Sorry. If it's what is it? A Legends game. I don't care.
That's not gonna be a Legends game. There's no way it's gonna be a Legends game.
If it's a Legends DLC, I don't care. Most side games, I don't care. If it's Pokken, I think I would laugh, and we're gonna.
I don't think we're gonna get Pokken because technically we have a Pokken game on the Switch. But man, I love Pokken. I would kill for another Pokken game.
That would probably be the only. That'd probably be the one game that I would see it pop up.
I would do like, dirty things for another Pokemon Rangers game personally. I love Pokemon Rangers.
I might get excited. You know, I'm waiting for some Pokemon Revolution that we had on the Wii. You know,
we're not getting that again. We have like the whole point of Revolution was we got Pokemon in 3D, which we literally have now. So like, that'd be like I do think one thing like I know it's a joke, but like when you think about it, like you know how much money Pokemon not money. I don't know if they make it free or not, but like Pokemon Showdown still exists somehow, like, you know, even though Pokemon is, like, you know, I'm surprised they haven't made their own battle simulator that's, like, licensed by Nintendo or by Game Freak.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Pokemon Pokemon picks and chooses like what's okay and what's not.
It's really
like
weird,
Pokemon
isn't it?
Showdown is literally a
Pokemon. I think Pokemon Showdown might be the
It's,
most
they're using
popular
the IP of
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the simulator to them is their game.
Yeah, but they don't own it. They're not even profiting from it.
That's what I'm saying.
Why
It's
they're
really
trying to-
weird. Yeah.
What I'm saying is to them, their simulator is when you load up a Wi-Fi battle.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
that's what it is to them.
Yeah.
They're like, why are you playing it online? That's fucking stupid.
But they fully
play
know.
the fucking game.
They fully know people go on Showdown. They know that.
Yeah.
So at this point, why not just make Pokemon Showdown the official battle simulator of Pokemon, or make your own?
I
know,
agree.
like
Not even 10. Listen, hold on. I'm gonna get a statistic for you.
Let's hear
Pokemon
it.
Showdown. There is not even 20,000 people online Pokemon Showdown right now. You know how many people have probably bought Pokemon copies?
Oh,
They don't
like
give a fuck.
Pokemon Sword and Shield, or not Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet sold like 3.5 million the first week or something like that.
They don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about 20,000 people playing fucking Showdown.
I was saying that kind of. I'm surprised Nintendo or Game Freak hasn't like been like, you know what, we know what Pokemon Showdown is. People like it. I'm surprised they haven't made their own Pokemon simulator where you like you can't like obviously catch Pokemon, but lets you like pick and choose like how to. Basically, it's like a tutorial how to play competitive Pokemon.
yeah, but my thing is like Pokemon, or the Pokemon company gets hard up over fan-made ROMs.
Yeah.
And they'll try to they'll make efforts to shut that down.
Because they're actual
But
games,
Pokemon
I think it's
Showdown's
probably
been around
why.
for over a decade.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything about that. They shut there was something in Roblox where they're using the Pokemon IP too. They try to shut that down too. So it's like, I don't know. It's
Well,
like if you're-
Pixelmon's a thing
if you're
too in
gonna
Minecraft. I'm surprised they haven't done anything about
choose
that.
to be the police about it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
they pick and choose on what's okay and what's acceptable and what's not. So it's I don't know. I feel like if they're just going to be Nazis about it, then they should just go ahead and just be that way towards everything.
Yeah.
Not just towards
Makes sense.
certain things.
But guys, thank y'all so much for watching. We had a lot of fun talking about it. We obviously all have a love for Pokemon, even though we now have love for all the more recent games. But what do y'all think we're going to see? Let us know in the comments. We'll be watching along with you all tomorrow, after the day after this is uploaded. The Pokemon Presents. I think
And
Jordan's going live.
I
Yeah.
have one more thing.
We do have one more thing we're doing. It'll be in a different
starting.
video.
We're
But
starting the tier list
Mm.
series. You can expect them maybe once every other week ish.
won't be as long as the other one we did. It'll be
It will not.
Yeah,
It will not.
it'll be really fun though.
I think we're gonna do tier list style a series. We're gonna cover a wide array of topics, games, pop culture, whatever, food. It doesn't matter. You all can let us
Great.
know what you would like to see.
Exactly.
But also remember, comment below
Mm.
who had the best Gen 1 team.
And why
and
was it me?
tell them why it's me.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Ain't no one picking you.
Stay blessed.